In the year 1600, the outcome of the Battle of Sekigahara undoubtedly crowned Tokugawa Ieyasu as the most powerful daimyo of post-Toyotomi Japan. The armies of this great battle maneuvered and clashed along two important roads, the Gokaido and the Nakasendo. These roads had strategic purposes in warfare, as they allowed faster movement of troops, and they also served as supply routes for the massive armies of the time. In peacetime, the development of advanced road networks encourages commerce. It increases the exchange of not only goods, but also ideas. Famous artist Utagawa Hiroshige captured the essence of Edo period's bustling roads with beautiful scenery and peaceful travelers in his woodblock print series titled 53 Stations of Tokaido. Original prints from this series were even collected by Vincent van Gogh himself. So, what's the story behind these ancient Japanese roads? To understand the formation of these roads, we need to first talk about the Gokaido system. During the Asuka period, Japan borrowed many legal and governmental systems from its neighbor, the then Tang Dynasty Japan. And the Gokaido was one of them. As the name suggests, it organizes all the provinces, or kuni, into 5 core provinces and 7 circuits. The 5 core provinces were the ones that surrounded the capital, which is represented by the kanji ki. And here the kanji do bears 2 meanings. One is a geopolitical unit, which we'll refer to as circuits, and the other meaning can be translated into routes, avenues, or roads. We'll stick to roads for the ease of understanding. So in other words, each do, or circuit, contained several provinces, and it also contained a main road of the same name that connected all those provinces together. The Gokaido was heavily used in warfare by samurai generals to organize their attacks in these regions. The 7 roads were also categorized by size, with title being the largest category because the title had the most amount of service stations. The only title amongst all 7 roads was the Sanyo-do, which was situated in the southwest of Honshu Island along the Seto Inland Sea. The Sanyo-do connected the capital, Kyo, with Kyushu, where most foreign merchants and diplomats gathered through the local governing entity, the Dazaifu. You can see that due to its importance, why the Sanyo-do would have to be the biggest. Toyotomi Hideyoshi's famous tactical retreat, the Chugoku Ogaeshi, also took place on the Sanyo-do. Interestingly, remnants of these roads still exist today. If you've been to Japan, you might have heard of the Tokaido Shinkansen and the Sanyo Shinkansen, a bullet train line that runs through major cities of Honshu and Kyushu. As a fun fact, there's actually an 8th circuit added into Japan's maps in the Meiji era. Do you know which one it is? Yep, it is Hokkaido, the northernmost island of Japan. Although Hokkaido shares the same naming convention as the other circuits, the Gokaido system had long been abolished by the time the Meiji government took over. It's still a very cool part of history nonetheless. Under Tokugawa Ieyasu's leadership as the shogun, the Edo Bakufu went on to further control the roads, and officially consolidated them into the Gokaido, or 5 routes. These 5 routes were now government-owned, and they were based on the previous 7 roads, which still existed as continuations of the 5 routes. All 5 routes shared the same start point, Edo. The government also cut down the amount of service stations along the routes and took direct ownership of them, transforming rest and lodging facilities for travelers into checkpoints to control the movement of people. Due to the Sankin Kotai system, one would frequently see formations of samurai traveling to and from Edo to fulfill their alternate year residence commitment. And because the Edo period was an era of peace, one would also see large amounts of commoners leisurely going about their business on these routes. Some were merchants, some were visiting relatives, and others were perhaps just tourists taking in the scenery. What was popular and fashionable in big cities like Edo and Osaka were brought to all corners of Japan. and vice versa. News of the outside world could reach the political centers from port towns in a matter of days. Furthermore, things like literature, poetry, painting, theater, and so on all flourished, prompting artists like Utagawa Hiroshige to capture the beautiful moments in his aforementioned print series, 53 Stations of Tokaido. Some historians believe that it was the stone-paved roads that allowed Rome to reach its glory. So, it's fair to say that roads are pretty important. Wouldn't you agree? Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for more fun trivia of ancient Japan. I'll see you in the next video.